Hello there. It's time now for SME On Point. My name is Davos WEF. Thank you so much for staying with SABC News. The World Economic Forum concludes today in Davos, Switzerland. Entrepreneurs form a critical part of the conversations on various issues which can inform policy and other decisions at a global and also national level. The co-founder of Silulo Ulutho, Luvuyo Rani, has been frequenting Davos since 2016, and this year has been no different. He has also been awarded the Schwab Foundation Social Entrepreneur of the Year award back in 2016. I caught up with him earlier today and we talked about how and why South African entrepreneurs should pay attention to the World Economic Forum and attend it in future. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for making time to speak to us here on SME On Point. I know that I catch you at a time when you are preparing to come back home. You've been in Davos, Switzerland, definitely not your first time. But before we get into what you've been doing in Davos, perhaps we can take this time for you to introduce yourself to our viewers and let them know a little bit about Silulo Ulutho and what it aims to do.
Thank you so much, Laibo. I mean, it's been great to be in Davos. Silulo Ulutho Technologies was established 2014 now. It's 21 years now in existence. Started with selling refurbished computers and moved to internet cafe and having one-stop center. And it grows now to have these centers across 30 provinces. We've got 46 centers where people can walk in, access, get the skills, start their businesses and find employment. So that's what we do in these communities. And I've been part of the WEF in the last 9 years.
9 years is a very long time, and I'm sure you have been able to see the benefits, right, for your business and for your personal development as well. Tell us about this investment that you made and how you got to go to the World Economic Forum. It's not cheap to go out there in Davos, and what the benefits are for entrepreneurs to make that investment.
So I was awarded by the Schwab Foundation by 2016 as a social entrepreneur. And that makes me now to be able to kind of like attend the annual meetings that happen in Davos, but also opportunity to go to Harvard as part of the funding in terms of like understand the systems, understand in terms of like how, from a leadership point of view, how do I grow? And I've been exposed in attending different countries. I mean, through being involved with Schwab, it's the key part for me is to be clearly around the system change. As we do work our own and not understand exactly the work that we do and how important it is and how we could able to change the system. And especially now, where 9 years back, the social entrepreneur had been seen as like NGO, but now they are at the center of the conversation now.
Mm. What difference have you seen this participation and this award do for the business back home? You know, when you put it on your profile, what kind of value have you seen it have?
So the Schwab Foundation is like Oscar of social entrepreneurs. So if you given that award, you've been much more exposed to how they were functioning and then how the impact you do, and it amplify your work in terms of like doing much more greater in terms of the work. The opportunity, it's also moved me to able to not only work on my organization now, to work with the social entrepreneurs in the continent. So as much as I've founded Silulo, so now I'm leading Africa Forward, which is a grassroots movement of the social entrepreneurs in the continent. And now we are working on the G20 to see from the policy around social and solidarity economy now. So there's a shift in the way things are at the moment, and there's kind of like a position now as a center of the social entrepreneurs, a key driver from big businesses and also from a government.
Yeah. At the moment, WEF can be mistaken by some as a talk shop. If you do not know its aim, you could see it as it's a gathering of powerful countries and powerful people talking. But what value is it for entrepreneurs globally? Are they able to make needle-making policies and changes in their respective countries? And how can that be translated to South African entrepreneurs so that they start to think about the World Economic Forum in a different light?
So WEF is a powerful organization. It's where the agenda of the world is set it up. I mean, every year this Davos, it's where most big organizations are there. So as an entrepreneur, it's a great opportunity to be part of the decision makers so that it can push your work in a different way that you could do now. It's where most deals have been taking place. It's where the influence that comes in now. And I've seen it even from our country, from our government around this year, 2020, that the positivity around South Africa and the positivity around the G20 for South Africa, it's been amazing to experience now. So as any entrepreneur who could be part of this global organization now, it takes you away from the local context issue that we're dealing with to the global, because we're living in this global world and we understand in terms of as we do our businesses, they are also needed around the world now. So being part of this community and being part of the WEF is not probably a talk shop, but you need to understand. It can be a talk shop if you understand it. It took me, it's a third Davos attendance now. It took me probably sometimes to understand in terms of how it works and how do you position yourself to extend that we can get attention for big businesses and also from the government.
And as I let you go, Luvuyo, how can the loyal followers of SME On Point that watch us every Friday, how can they begin to prepare themselves to start thinking of making that investment, whether they go there in their capacity as entrepreneurs or maybe they are likely to be invited to come with Team South Africa in future? How can they prepare themselves to be able to get the best out of the experience so that it benefits not only their personal development, but also their businesses and the country at large?
Yeah, we are fortunate enough in South Africa for the first time after 20 years, being part of the G20, and we are hosting G20 for South Africa, for Africa. It presents a great opportunity to showcase our businesses, present opportunity to work with that global business now. So the attention now is going to be South Africa. There are 130 meetings that are going to take place from February until November in the different provinces that are able to bring those opportunities now. And from a B20, there's a huge, area where they kind of focus into every areas of the stream that they are working with. If they work on energy, infrastructure, there's an element of an SME, which is so great for the first time now, even the B20 looking at that now. So just to say to South African entrepreneurs, take this opportunity. It's only 11 months. It's not going to be last. We have to launch our businesses, start our businesses, get engaged and see that energy. And that energy is what is going to take our country in that level now. So next time we could see more of young South Africans be part of this global organization now, because that's where the opportunity are coming in. And that's what we're scaling and growing our business. That's what we have been open in that regard. So let's start at home. And we've got a time now. We've got a chance now that we can use this G20 to able to see how can we benefit and leveraging through our businesses to grow our businesses.
All right, we'll be taking this conversation to our Facebook page, which is at SME On Point. And we want to hear your view about how you see everything that's happening at the World Economic Forum. Do you agree with Luvuyo? Do you think it's a worthwhile investment for your business, for your personal development? And as I said, our page is at SME On Point. I honestly really love engaging with all of you. To this now, the demand for furniture making skills is growing as people prefer custom-made furniture. Out in Benoni, in the East Rand, a self-taught carpenter has turned his furniture-making skills into a business, teaching others. The owner of KS Woodworx wants to teach as many people as he can so that they can put the food on the table. He invited SME On Point to visit his class and experience it for ourselves. And naturally, where entrepreneurship thrives, that's where you'll find us. Take a look at this. South Africa's furniture manufacturing industry is made up of many small companies like KS Woodworx, owned by Sean Rose, a self-taught carpenter. Rose started by making chopping boards, some pedestals and chest of drawers as a hobby. Today, KS Woodworx is not only a business but also a promising skills training center. Rose spends most of his days, including weekends, sharing his knowledge of the trade with those who are hungry for the know-how.
I've always had one or two people ghosting. Ghosting meaning they going with me every time I'm doing this. And I kept getting people like, Sean, come, we want to learn, man. Come teach us, help us. And I'll be like, okay, come. Then 3 people came at the time. I'm like, okay, if I charge this much, it'll be fine. The price at that time was higher, but some they did go with it. But then when I sat down, I was like, okay, look, if I can help 10 people at a time, charge them as little as possible just to cover the material and my time also, it'll be worth it. Yeah. You know, that's when I like, let me advertise. And then people kept coming and everyone is happy. And I believe there's enough for everyone.
Leveraging on social media accelerated his business as more people from different provinces became aware of it.
It takes 5 days. And I know 5 days, a lot of people, they question this 5 days, but it's more than enough. You know, because with me, it took me a year. The reason why it took me a year is because I was learning through mistakes. And you know, sometimes I would ask people, they don't even give that information. You have to go home, research on the internet, on the YouTube and all of that. Then at the end, I ended up summing up everything into one. I've realized that everything is all the same. If you can understand how to build a small cupboard, you can understand how to build a big cupboard. Because the principles behind everything is the same. It doesn't change. That's why I've summed up everything into a week.
In a world where decor trends are fast changing, many want to be able to keep up. They are willing to invest in themselves and their businesses, just like Tabang and Tsireletso, who have signed up for Rose's class.
I'm planning to renovate my kitchen, my wardrobes in my house, my cupboards and everything. So I got quoted an amount which I thought, you know what, let me investigate how much these things really cost. And then when I looked on the internet, I looked on TikTok, I found this company that's doing trainings for cupboards. I'm like, okay, this is an interesting course. Let me go try it so that I can come and do my own kitchen, do my own cupboards.
I came here to get the skill. I wanted to do a trade test, but this is more cheaper, affordable than a trade test. So yeah, I guess this is the right place to be to get the skill.
Rose looks forward to teaching as many people as possible as he recognizes the difficulty that exists for many people to secure a job or start a small business.
There are people, yes, who are doing it for a hobby or maybe just to improve for themselves at home, but mostly we should have those who should make money out of this, make a living in a way, you understand? I know it takes time, but eventually I think we can all learn and at the end have something on the table.
Davos WEF, SABC News, Johannesburg. And there you go. We've given you the plug. Now you go and make those rands and cents circulate. I'll have more SME on point for you next week, Friday.